Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Salute to the entire chat. My brother Samuel Shaw, Nick Harmer. Salute. Pull check boxing. Salute family. Boxing monster, my brother. Look, it's just time to get honest and unbiased, and the rent is due for Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. The rent is due. We don't have time. We don't have time to give these guys a pass. We don't have time to sugarcoat it for these guys. We don't have time to make these people feel, oh, the guy, he's this, he's that. No, Caleb Plant is coming around talking about, oh, I'm free in September for Canelo Alvarez. So all of a sudden you're free in September, but you missed the opportunity to be great. You missed an opportunity to be great. You missed a great opportunity to be great and fight Canelo Alvarez when you had the chance. And now you're saying you're free in September. Now you're free in September when you know Canelo Alvarez is looking at Gennady Golovkin. When you know Canelo Alvarez still has Billy Joe Saunders smoke, but you free in September. He got 2 potential fights lined up, but now you free in September. Now you free in September. Then this idiot Caleb Plant says, well, look, I fight for over 7 figures every fight. First of all, stupid. And then he says it's not about money. So is it about money or is it not about money? You don't even understand what you're talking about. You didn't even want to hear the offer because you turned it down immediately. Caleb Sweet Cheeks Plant, because only somebody with sweet cheeks would turn down a great opportunity to be great. Then Caleb Plant says, oh, it's about legacy. It's not about money. If it's about legacy, name one fighter that's going to be better on your resume right now than Canelo Alvarez. There's no all-time great fighter he can fight at the moment other than Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is the only all-time great fighter that's in and around his division that's available to fight right now. He can't fight Manny Pacquiao. So the only other all-time great right now that's truly active is Canelo Alvarez. So you should have took that smoke. And this is how dumb he is. This is how dumb Caleb Plant is. If he would have took the fight, if he would have been smart about it, he would have already had all the time he needed. He would have had all the time he needed. That's all. So he would have already had all the time. He blew it. He blew it. He blew it. I don't ever want to hear anybody tell me that Caleb Plant wants to be great. This is dude is walking around the house, closing the refrigerator door with his hips. This is the guy walking around the house in fuzzy slippers and hair rollers, because that's the type of dude that turns down an opportunity to be great. There's no reason to turn down an opportunity to be great. There's no reason to turn down the biggest payday, the biggest legacy fight, all in one. And you say you don't want to be overworked. You say only real boxers know. Then why did David Benavidez pull your card for it? Because David Benavidez pulled your card and said anybody would have took that fight. He pulled his card. David Benavidez pulled his card for ducking Canelo Alvarez. He straight up ducked the smoke. And if your body's already tired, let me ask you this. If your body's already tired, you don't want to put your body through another camp, that's fine. You didn't have a grueling fight, that's fine. Why are you having a grueling camp for a nobody? But even then, when you come back, why would you put your body? See, you already in shape, so you don't have to do too much sparring. You don't have to do too much adjoint. You're just staying in shape. You should be staying in shape anyway. That's what great fighters do. Do you realize Canelo Alvarez trains throughout the year? The guy is still in training right now. See, Caleb Plant's a liar. See, you're calling for smoke when you simply don't want it. See, he called for Canelo Alvarez when he already know that he's booked. He calling for Canelo Alvarez when he knows he's booked. So is he trying to be great? Is it about the money? Or is it about legacy? I can't decide. I like Caleb Plant. I say Caleb Plant was underrated. I said Caleb Plant has a good skill set. And you know what? Everybody in his own division is disrespecting him. Danny Jacobs says he's the weakest link. David Benavidez says he's the weakest link. Salute to Sean Newton Boxing. Sean Newton Boxing and now. Salute, Sean Newton. Look, I'm going to just be honest and unbiased about it. The whole situation. Caleb Plant is calling for a Canelo Alvarez fight, saying he's free in September, when you know you had a great opportunity to talk. You had a great opportunity to get your smoke in. You could have had a career-high payday, a legacy fight. But now you want to play A-side to the A-side. Who the hell can play A-side to the face of boxing? Talking about I'm not just a regular fighter. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? You can't play A side to the face of boxing? To the face of boxing? You cannot play A side to the face of boxing. Caleb Plant, what are you talking about? Like, I'm gonna put it like this. Caleb Plant's a good fighter. He's underrated. He has some skills. I would never disrespect Caleb Plant on that level. The only problem I've ever had with Caleb Plant is when you get a great opportunity and you pass it up. Don't ever say you want to be great again. Don't ever say you want all the smoke again, because you clearly don't want it. See, you went on a media tour and a press tour after you turned down a great opportunity. You didn't even want to hear the offer. So how can you price yourself out? You didn't even want to hear the offer. You didn't even want to hear the offer. He had, by his own admission, he turned the fight down right away. So look, if you're so confident you beat Canelo, stay in shape, take the fight. And now, due to the coronavirus, he would have had plenty of time. See, that's what happens when these guys truly don't want to be great. When you're fighting an A side, you're not going to get everything your way. Do you think that everybody that fought Floyd Mayweather got the gloves of their choice? They got everything that they wanted against Floyd? Hell no. Floyd was the A side, and he put the foot on everybody's neck to let everybody know that. That's what happens when you have an A side and a B side. That's what happens when you fight the face of boxing. But if you're talented enough, if you're good enough, and you believe that you're special, then you should be able to turn the tide and get the victory. He don't believe in himself. He doesn't believe he can beat Canelo. He don't want to feel those body shots. The guy is clout chasing. That's the only thing it is. And look, think about it like this. If Caleb Plant wants to be the man at 168, Sean Newton, if he wants to be the man at 168, answer me this. Why did Caleb Plant also call out Triple G? Why would you call for a Triple G fight? He's not a champion at 168. And he's not the face of boxing like Canelo. So everybody gets on Canelo for setting the deal for Triple G. Absolutely right. He should be fighting David Benavidez. If Caleb Plant fights and beats David Benavidez, you got all my respect in the world. Then everybody's going to clamor for that Canelo Alvarez fight. Everybody's going to want that fight right away. Right now, Caleb Plant, a lot of people are down you. A lot of people don't believe you can beat David. A lot of people don't even believe that Caleb Plant can beat Danny Jacobs. Caleb Plant, you have to fight a boxer with some skills. Show us what you are. I see Caleb Plant, he says he looks, Canelo didn't look good against certain competition. David Benavidez didn't look good against certain competition. But here's the problem. We've never seen you with anybody in the ring that would make you not look great. You've been in with one-dimensional fighters. You've been in with a guy named Fine Butts. So if you're in a fight with a guy named Fine Butts, that means his boxing style is ass, because his name literally says it all. Fine Butts. So let's just be honest and unbiased. Caleb Plant, you got to go after David Benavidez. You got to go after Callum Smith. Callum Smith said he wants to be great. He said he wants to unify titles. He wants to beat a man at 168. Okay, fight Callum Smith. And then he turns around, Caleb Plant, and says he offered Callum Smith a contract. Eddie Hearn comes back and says, no, we never received an offer for Caleb Plant. See, I know what kind of games these are. These are those PBC games. These are those games where these guys try to save face. These guys will have you believe in one thing, and it's really another. That's what this is. This is a PBC game. This is what it is. Caleb Plant looks like Floyd Mayweather out there against these tomato cans, but we don't know what you look like against elite level competition, because you never fought elite level competition. We've never seen you. I don't even know if you can take a punch from David Benavidez. This dude's talking about he's gonna beat him. So I'll put it like this. How do I know you can take a shot from David Benavidez? How do I know that? When Jose Uzcategui was rocking you back and forth every other round. And that's when he did connect. So Luke, and Sean Newton says, Jacobs should fight Smith. The winner can get it on. I agree 100%. Look, this is the problem with so many guys. Everybody wanted to stand around at 160 with their hands in their pockets, not wanting to fight. You see nobody at 160 wanted to fight. Now at 168, everybody's holding out for a Canelo payday. Jacobs, Callum Smith need to get it on. David Benavidez and Caleb Plant get it on. All the winners come fight Canelo. Then that makes everybody earn it. Now we know who the best is. Now we know what the real smoke is. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about a Caleb Plant fighting a guy named Fine Butts. If think about it, if Canelo Alvarez fought a Fine Butts, he'd be crucified. If Canelo Alvarez fought a guy like Arthur Akabov, like Demetrius Andre, he'd be crucified. See, that's what I'm saying. These guys can fight nobodies. But if Canelo fight it, it's a problem. You got to keep the same energy for everybody else. Canelo's been fighting unifications, been fighting title shots. Come on now. And look, here's the worst part, Sean. Here's the worst part. Caleb Plant and David Benavidez are on the same side of the street. What's taking so long? This shit should have already been done. This should have already been done. There's no excuses. If you're on the same side of the street, why is this not done? Why are you fighting Fine Butts? Come on now. Welcome to church. You don't want to hear me. Look, let me just be honest and unbiased. Look, Plant, he better not. He said Plant will be fighting Angulo next. Look, Caleb Plant better take on top-tier competition. There's so much free smoke right now. And Callum Smith needs to fight somebody. Callum Smith can only fight a big name, a unification, or rematch John Ryder. That's all Callum Smith can do for me. That's all he can do for me. That's all he can do for me. You sitting up here fighting a guy named Fine Butts while you walk out of the house in fuzzy slippers. I don't respect that. If you want to be great, like the thing about exactly Junior Moreno calls it, Canelo Alvarez is getting crucified for fighting Danny Jacobs in a unification fight. And if Danny Jacobs fought Demetrius Andre, Jamal Charlo, or Caleb Plant, he'd easily be the best name on all three of their resumes. And wouldn't nobody just say Danny Jacobs would lose? Those will all be close fights. But yet Canelo Alvarez gets crucified for it. He gets crucified for it. That's what I'm saying. We got to keep the same energy that we keep for Canelo Alvarez, that we keep for Caleb Plant, that we keep for Demetrius Andre, that we keep for Jamal Charlo, because only one of those guys, which is Canelo, is fighting unification fights, moving up in weight, taking titles. If Sergey Kovalev was easy, why didn't nobody else go do it? Because you know who's easy? Arthur Akabov is easy. Brandon Adams is easy. Dennis Hogan is easy. Fine Butts is easy. Because if Sergey Kovalev is easy, then what the hell is Fine Butts? What the hell is Arthur Akabov? What the hell is, what the hell is Brandon Adams? If Sergey Kovalev is easy, then what are all of these other guys? That's what I'm saying. These are LDBC narratives. These are biased media narratives. Half of these dudes out here repping the LDBC, but don't want to claim the set. No, you are part of them because you're talking about them. You're representing them. See, that's the problem. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. If Sergey Kovalev is easy, then what about everybody else? What about everybody else? Because they're straight garbage compared to Sergey Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev has already made a name for himself. Sergey Kovalev is already a real deal. Canelo beat their champion. He beat a champion off of 2 back-to-back wins and a stoppage win. What are we talking about? But you want to talk about, Canelo cherry picking an easy guy. Then who the hell is Arthur Akabov? Who the hell is that? Who the hell is a Fine Butts? Who the hell is Brandon Adams? Don't ever talk greasy about Canelo Alvarez unless you fighting the best, unless you fighting unification fights. So you don't have to like Canelo, but you will respect his accomplishments and his accolades. See, the guy is living up to the standards that he's setting. The guy is living up to the truth that he's bringing in the ring. Canelo Alvarez is pound for pound #1 for a reason. He's pound for pound #1 for a reason. It's simply because he's fighting unification fights. I've even had a fanboy tell me, this is how bad it's gotten. I had a fanboy tell me that Canelo Alvarez shouldn't be moving up in the weight to fight champions. Then what kind of fighter do you want? You don't want a fighter moving up in weight, fighting champions, 2 division hires, and snatching their belts. You want a guy pulling up dudes in weight. Caleb Plant wants to pull up Triple G in weight. Did you know that? Brandon Adams moved up in weight for Jamal Charlo. But everybody's saying that Sergey Kovalev is a cherry pick. This is what I'm saying. These dudes are not keeping the same energy that they keep for everybody else that they keep for Canelo Alvarez. It's a different type of energy for Canelo than it is for everybody else. That's the problem. That's the problem. Next thing you know, you're going to want to see Caleb Plant want to fight Errol Spence, Keith Thurman. These guys don't want to see it. Let's just be honest and unbiased. You need to fight David Benavidez. And until Caleb Plant fights David Benavidez, I'm not taking him serious. I'm not taking you serious until you fight David Benavidez, period. Period. I'm not taking you serious. I'm not taking you serious. You might as well get your nose ring and your choker chain on because you're not being taken serious. Facts over feelings all day. That's the problem with so many of these dudes. They get in their feelings, but we give them facts. We're talking about a guy that's fighting unification fights, fighting sitting world champions. But everybody at 160 and 168 is waiting around for the smoke. Don't ever compare Demetrius Andre to Terrence Bud Crawford. Don't ever make that comparison. Because Bud Crawford didn't turn down and pull out a Deverenchenko fight. Bud Crawford wouldn't pull out of a lot of fight, wouldn't pull out of an opportunity. Like, this is the same guy, Demetrius Andre, who's 32 years old, who has nobody on his resume. Everybody's crucifying Canelo for fighting Triple G in a trilogy. But if Triple G fought Demetrius Andre, everybody would be so hyped and happy for it. See, they're not keeping the same energy because Triple G would easily be the best name on Andrade's resume. And you couldn't even say 100% that Andrade beats him. That's the problem. Guys don't keep that same energy that they do for everybody else. Guys promote fanboy narrative. See, these facts can't be biased. These facts can't be biased. You can say what you want. You can say what you want, but the resumes speak for themselves. Because if Sergey Kovalev was easy, then who the hell was Arthur Akabov? Who was Arthur Akabov? Answer that, Demetrius Andre. Who was Brandon Adams, Jamal Charlo? Who was Fine Butts, Caleb Plant? That's what I'm saying. Everybody expects a different type of energy from Canelo, but when it comes to their own fighters, they don't keep that same energy.